there's been neglection. So now I pick up the pen and use it as a weapon. Yeah, you can see that I'm affected. People getting killed for nothing but obsessions. You need to look at your reflection and decide who you are. Stop acting disconnected. Got mothers killing kids. People kill to live. Well, I be on the mic, speaking how I live. Every day I wake up, it's another person that's dead, and YouTube has to solve it because the law is killing kids. I'm disgusted at the evil in the end, and if you connect the dots, you'll see the vision in your head. Why do people die as victims to the streets? They wonder why I'm up all night and can't sleep. I'll be the voice for everyone who can't speak. L.E. failed Kylie, and now Sammy is free. AWP did a good deed, and y'all be talking all that shit while they just do it for free. 16 days for 35 minutes. Y'all tried to throw them off and just want to play the victim. Reaching out to YouTube channels for clout. I wouldn't check it. TV if I went in your house. And SF investigate, stay sending out the hate. Why you mad at Doug and Nick for finding Kylie in the lake? Make it make sense. You're a fake bitch. You were there for money and now you're mad over fake shit. And that's something I can't relate with. Zero emotion from the mom on the statements. All I seen was the devil in her eyes. Tony died, you're a fake. I can see it through your lies. Got Sammy on your stream like the FBI. You've been grooming little kids. I can see your whole disguise. It get mail calling Ronnie up on the line. Why you lie to the people and say you won't do it live? Santa May out here looking at your sus. Got an arrow on the ground pointing towards Kylie's truck. And you want it coming up church. I think your butt hurt. You tried to blame the man for your dog but couldn't find the dirt. I guess that's what they mean by the trucky way. If you step foot in the town, you might die from foul play. And I don't know what to say, but I can feel it through my soul. She didn't drive in LA. So y'all can try to go convince somebody else, cause I'm not falling for that shit. The autopsy really smells.
See, let me explain what I'm talking about, man. And you know what I'm talking about. No water in the lungs. Y'all test for the weirdest shit. I guess it is the trucky way.
You gotta stop doing this.
I mean, I really guess it's the trucky way, man. Kylie Rodney needs justice.
Kylie Rodney definitely needs justice. That's a damn fact. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Delana, What Is True, Cali Thunder, Dan in the building. Let me grab my bong. Hang on. Take a bong rip. Smoke one for me, man. Sheba, what's going on? Lisa G in the building. Sheba says, good Thursday, T. Glad you're on this big time. June can't come quick enough. Right. Absolutely. We'll be touching on that. Hopefully I'm not. All right, I'm not muted. I had to make sure I'm not muted. Crazy grandma, the American justice system is so different than the Canadian system. Very true. Hi, T-REV. Hi, everyone. This is all very interesting. Wonder what it will change in this case. That's very what will it change in this case? And that's why we're gonna watch this clip and then we're gonna get into it. He said, quit promoting drugs, man. Damn. A bonk? What? Weed's drugs? I didn't know weed was drugs. I mean, they try to say it is, but can't wait for T to record the Moscow way. Yeah, that it's looking very likely at this point, right? Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It's free 99. We're gonna jump into some phone calls and talk about. I'm gonna open up the lines, but I want to watch this video in particular, and then some things that came out about something that one of my callers brought up to me on December 23rd. So one of my callers that I had from December 23rd had told me about the corruption, or I wouldn't say the corruption, right? And I'll play the phone call if you guys really want me to play the phone call to its entirety. It's kind of, when you hear her, you hear the fear in her voice and how upset she was. But the names that she mentioned, she mentioned Rory Wilson and Nathan Wilson and Doug Wilson. And how can we match that up with the Moscow, Idaho 4? I'll tell you how. So there's two officers. It's Nunes and Gunderson allegedly were at the scene, right? I will say this, allegedly, right? Gunderson had lied on the stand. Now, to a court document that's put out there, Gunderson lied on the stand against them, and they're saying Nunes did also. So the corruption, is that, or gigolo, whatever they call it, right? Is that what it is? I think it is. You know, when you lie on the stand, you're gonna create some issues, right? What's up? Who else we got? Kathy. Kathy's in the building. What's going on, Kathy? How you doing? Bonnie, welcome. Shelly J, or I don't even know. Is that JB's? I'm gonna call you JB's. Mar and Sweet, welcome. I appreciate you coming by. Thank you, Melon. I appreciate that. Robin Renee, welcome. Finally caught you live. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate that. Night Nurse, how you doing? Hi back to you also. Petty Page says, amen. Kylie was on my mind earlier, and I sent her big love. Kylie's always on the mind when you think about that case, and just look at all the corruption and shit that goes on in America. You don't think that they got that wrong? A lot of people don't think that Kylie Rodney, or I've had a lot of people hit me up and say she committed suicide or she accidentally drove into the lake, and I'm like, nah, there's no way, right? Amberlina, welcome. Not a long time no see. Maybe you've been here and I missed you by chance, but I don't think I've seen you in a while, but it's nice to see you. Jennifer B, welcome. Chelsea, shout out to you from Arizona. Black Cat says, T-REV, what are your thoughts on the Debbie Collier case? I don't think she committed suicide. I definitely don't. Not in the manner that she died. That's crazy. That's like Jessica Johnson. I don't think she committed suicide either. Just Susie thoughts. Thank you. I appreciate that. Everybody welcome her. Thank you. Hold up. Let me fix this. All right. We can't be going on without this.
Oh my God!
Yeah, exactly. Welcome. Karen says, follow the money. Follow the money. Malby Mama. Welcome, Malby Mama. Justice for the Idaho 4. I don't know. With all this bullshit going on, could a potential killer walk free? Allegedly? Sweetness says, I'm lost. I don't have a clue what's up and down. True statement. Tammy says, I have fell behind. Damn, you fell behind? Dawn, welcome. Woke up says, what's up, T and gang? Never a dull moment with this case. Never a dull moment. It picks up every day. Gigolo. I don't know, Jips. I don't know. I'm just saying. Ooh, he lied, that bastard. Yes, he did. He lied on the stand against Rory Wilson. And they were posting, and I'll pull up the I actually want to pull this up and show it to you guys before we jump into this clip right here. And then I open up the phone lines. I want to jump into it. So I'll look it up right here, right? Rory Wilson. I had the clip saved right here. Okay, here it is. So it goes, a man who posted Soviet Moscow stickers, right? So it says, Moscow City Council, take note, the third generation of Wilson hoodlums is now roaming your streets. If you want to stop the crime before it gets worse, and it will get worse, then you can do so by canceling NSA's conditional use permit. Oh, damn, somebody's actually trying to petition against them. So it says, man who posted Soviet Moscow stickers found guilty. Roy Wilson convicted on misdemeanor charge stemming from October 2020 incident. A 20-year-old Moscow man who put Soviet Moscow stickers on city of Moscow properties in 2020 was found guilty Monday. Roy Wilson was ordered to pay $257 in fines and fees, $186 in restitution, and be on unsupervised probation for 90 days. Prosecuting attorney Liz Warner and Wilson is also required to write an essay to the court about legal protest as part of his sentence. So Rory Wilson was found guilty of one count of posting on fences, buildings, and poles on public property without consent following a 2-day jury trial in Latah County Magistrate Court. So it says Wilson, his juvenile brother, and his father, Nathan Wilson, were charged in October 2020 with the misdemeanor count. Rory and Nathan Wilson pleaded not guilty. Nathan Wilson's case is still pending. So after subpoenas, motions, orders, and several other actions over the subsequent months, Latah County Magistrate Judge Megan Marshall on June 18th denied Rory and Nathan Wilson motions to dismiss the charges. So with these gentlemen right here that they're talking about, it's alleged that Gunderson lied on the stand and Nunes lied on the stand, allegedly, right? It says that in paperwork. Is that our gigolo, whatever is that our conflict in the Idaho Moscow case? I would like to say that's grounds for it after looking up the definition. I want to hear from you guys on what you think about it. But I honestly do think it is grounds for what they're calling on this case right now. I think that's going to cause, especially if they walked in or any of them found the sheath or anything like that. So it could cause an issue there, I feel like. That's what I think, but it hasn't came out yet. We don't know for sure, but we're going to see. Trust me. The hazing case is unreal with Trent. That shit makes me sick what those boys did to that autistic. I don't even want to jump into that. That makes me angry. Night Nurse says, or is the real killer or killers already walking free? Could you be right? Absolutely. So do some of y'all think these four got killed over money, drug money, or like the real estate? Do you think DM was target? You never know. I'm going to run this clip right here, and then we'll jump into some phone calls.
Hey everybody, I'm Brian Enton in for Dan Abrams tonight. He is on vacation this week. Thanks a lot, Chris. We're going to continue to cover this breaking news, these documents that just came out right before the show in the case of Brian Kohberger, the suspected Idaho student killer, revealing what could actually be a major problem for prosecutors, possible misconduct on the part of an officer involved in the case. That was revealed during an internal affairs investigation and could involve information that could actually help the defense. In a notice filed to the court on Monday and released just a little more than an hour ago, state prosecutors have now notified the court that, quote, the state has become aware of potential Brady Giglio material related to one of the officers involved in the above referenced case. That material in the form of confidential internal affairs investigation, key in on that word right there, is hereby submitted in camera to the court. And the state goes on to say it will disclose this information to Kohberger's attorneys, but because the information is confidential, prosecutors are asking the judge to issue a protective order to prohibit defense counsel from, quote, disseminating the information contained in the internal affairs investigation without court approval. Look, I know it's confusing. I was just telling Jesse Weber, who joins us now, I had to read the document like 3 times. I'm not a lawyer, but certainly this doesn't seem like a good thing for the prosecution.
It's not. So let me just break it down real quick. It's called the Brady Giglio issue, right? So what that means is prosecutors by law have to turn over to the defense any evidence that might help the defense, might exonerate the defendant. And that includes, and this is the Giglio portion, any evidence that might impeach the credibility of a witness. And who have they referred to here? A police officer as part of an internal affairs investigation. So what could this be? What's the worst case? Let's say this was an officer that provided an affidavit in support of a search warrant for key evidence in this case. If that officer lied as a part of that affidavit, if this officer withheld information as a part of that affidavit, potentially this evidence could be thrown out. This is a big problem for the prosecution. Now, I heard Dave Aronberg on Cuomo's show. This could also be something different. This could be something personal about the officer. But by law, they'll have to.
No, it's T-REV Law Channel analyst says this is likely not related to the Idaho case, but had to be disclosed by law. I won't say the channel name. It's likely from something before the Idaho case. It is for something before the Idaho case. And I really do believe it's this incident with the Rory Wilson, Nathan Wilson, and Doug Wilson. I believe it is from that incident. A couple officers that are involved with that case were on the scene in Moscow, Idaho at 1122 King Road. And they had lied on the stand, allegedly. But it says it right in paperwork. So, you know what I mean? So there, I mean, I think we found our issue, right? I think we found the issue on, 2 officers potentially that aren't credible in court.
To disclose it, because let's say here's a different example. An officer maybe had a pattern of misconduct. Maybe it wasn't directly related to the Kohberger investigation, but if this is an officer who maybe lied in the past or had some sort of misconduct, this is something the defense needs to know, whether they cross-examine the officer or not in a future trial. But I think this is going to be very important for the defense. And clearly, we don't know what this information is. It is under seal. But I have seen cases before be dismissed because of Brady Giglio violations and officers terminated because of this.
So basically, it seems that there is an officer involved in the Koberger case who has an internal affairs investigation. The prosecution has now decided we need to make this, we need to make the defense aware of it. Is it possible the prosecution is just thinking, look, this is a huge case. We want to be as careful as possible. This isn't a big deal, but let's do this anyway. Or does this mean that it's actually something significant?
They, by law, have to turn over anything that might meet that criteria. So they are doing their job. We don't really know how significant it ultimately is. But when I read the words of an internal affairs investigation, my first thought is whatever this officer did or did not do, it makes it seem like it might not just be this case. It could be something further. And look, at the end of the day, we're not sure what the impact is going to be. But when you hear the Brady Giglio violation, I've seen problems. I've seen cases thrown out. And officers, this is the last thing they want to be on. I mean, if you are put on this list of potential violations, it could really torpedo your career and can really blacklist you in a way.
So is it possible that we'll figure out what all of this means? Because there's the gag order in place. With this whole situation in case, we've been having to piece together puzzle pieces because there's so much redacted every time they release something. You think we'll get the details on this?
Potentially. There's a part of it where if, let's say this case is ultimately dismissed, I'm not saying that's going to be the case. I'm curious to see what would be allowed to be said about it or not. Then again, if this officer, and if evidence is thrown out, that's a separate question. But if this officer, whoever it is, makes it to a trial, they can be cross-examined about this material, and maybe eventually we would learn what it could be.
It's going to be interesting. Jesse, you were at dinner. We called you. Oh my gosh, there was a document dump.
It's important.
Come back to the state. You know, come back over here. Help us understand it. You did. We appreciate you coming.
Of course,
out,
Brian.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for watching.
All right. So I mean, that's that, right? And then hold up. Where's that one? I need to pull that one up for you guys real quick. I have it right here. So I got, like I said, I got a call, right? And I'll play it for you guys. I don't think it's that long, but she mentioned this on, what was it? December 23rd, right? So let me go to my history because I was just playing it not too long ago. It was this one. I'm listening to you. I'm all ears right now for everything that you're saying.
People are going to think I'm crazy. That's
I
fine.
I absolutely do not think you're crazy. This is research. This is stuff that you know what I mean? I do not think you're crazy at all, man. I promise.
I appreciate it. I'm sorry. I'm freaking out, but I've put
you're
a lot
fine.
of work into
You are
this.
absolutely fine. Your heart is in this. You're passionate about what you're saying.
I was crying when
Now listen to this shit. What's it doing? Stop playing games. Wow. Technical difficulty much? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Hear me?
I played the video and was that her? That wasn't her. All right, here we go.
My name is Michelle. I live in Washington State. I'm a mother of a 19-year-old son and a 21-year-old daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't need haters. And I've sent the attorney this morning an email.
Yes, ma'am.
After I've done the extensive research because we haven't been getting anywhere. And that's what I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I respect what you do. Thank you for everything that you do.
Made the video. It's clues. It's not, you guys are used to watching these videos that tell you every little freaking detail and people break stuff down and got boards up and shit. Okay. No, I can't post all this shit out there because it's totally doxing and saying, hey, you're the killer.
Right. Which will get your ass sued. You know what I mean? Yeah. You
guys don't know who I'm fucking with here, man. This guy rules the town of Moscow.
Yes, ma'am.
He's been there since 1969. That town has unsolved murders since 1969. People are going to think I'm crazy. I don't care. I don't care. Watch it. Watch what I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening. You got all ears for me, and I'm not.
I don't care what people in the chat think I'm crazy. They're going to be calling me names, thinking I'm off my rocker. That's fine.
Hey,
I'm a 47-year-old woman.
Ma'am,
guess what? I've been through it. I'm from Los Angeles. I can take it. Okay, I'm down with the dog pound.
I want to tell you something real quick before we move on. You're gonna get that. I get that all the time. Don't pay attention to them, and just I personally, I'm interested in hearing what you're saying because you could be right. And
Douglas Wilson.
I want to give you that fair chance to explain it.
Douglas, Rory, and Nathan Wilson. You guys want names? I just dropped the names. Look them up.
Okay.
Do your research.
I'm writing that down. Let me get my notepad out. You can keep going. You said Douglas what?
Douglas Wilson.
Yes, ma'am.
Rory Wilson. Rory Wilson.
Yes, okay.
Nathan Wilson. A father and his 2 sons.
Thank you, Mar. Yes, ma'am.
You guys need to look. You gotta stop looking.
Thank you, Karma.
You gotta stop looking at what the massive media is feeding you people.
I'm with you. Fuck mainstream media.
Okay, because we know what's going on already, and we know the little details aren't matching up. And the reason I'm going to tell you guys the reason why this isn't going down and they're not investigating this. Well, the reason why they're not investigating this guy is because he's in a situation with the police right now because of that arrest that I just showed you on the video that was recent. Okay. The reason why they wouldn't question the black truck, you want to know why? Because if they question him in the murder, then this guy, he's already admitted on so many of his videos that he's got a stash of cash in case the FBI investigates him. Man. You guys don't know who you're fucking with.
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening to you. I'm all ears right now for everything that you're saying. Yeah, people
gonna think I'm crazy.
This is before the arrest, right? And now we have this conflict coming out with Rory Wilson, who she's speaking about, has a conflict with 2 of the officers that were at the Moscow, Idaho 4 murders house, 1122 King Road. She was speaking on these folks, and Rory and Rory, Nathan, and I guess the other brother, I forget the other brother's name, but they had a case where allegedly 2 of the officers lied on the stand towards them in general. So, I mean, it causes something. I absolutely do not think you're crazy. This is research. This is stuff that you know what I mean? I do not think you're crazy at all, ma'am. I promise.
I appreciate it. I'm sorry. I'm freaking out, but
you're fine. You are absolutely fine. Your heart is in this. You're passionate. You're passionate about what you're saying.
I was crying when I got off the phone with the FBI last night, you guys. I stood on hold at 10 o'clock.
I think videos out there, all types of different things, but other people,
some kind of weird. So strongly, why would I?
Yeah. Yes, we're live.
So strongly, why would I?
There you go.
The reason, like, if I didn't want the parents to see this, my work, I wouldn't post. You know what I mean? This is for the parents.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
It's for those moms and dads that lost their babies, you know?
I'm with you, ma'am. I'm with you. I'm 100%
and we need to honor that, not the hater stuff, because this is real, you know? It's not funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
And nobody's listening.
I hear your emotion. I am listening to you. You got all ears from me, and whatever support you need from me, I got your back.
And I'm scared. I'm scared because of who I'm outing. I'm really scared because I've done more research about what happens when you out him.
Don't be scared.
And I'm scared. He threatens people.
Your back. I will call you off air. I got your back. Nobody will touch you. If I got connections too, so I'm not scared. Whoever this is, we can dig into it. Yeah, you don't know who you're fucking with.
Douglas Wilson, Rory Wilson, and Nathan Wilson.
Okay.
They need to be investigated, and we need to know where they were at the night of the 12th through the 13th, morning of the 13th. And we need to know who drives the black truck and who was that in body cam. And if that person's been questioned in the footage, why they were driving at that time in the morning, going away from the house on Taylor.
Okay. Well, Yeah, we need to check into it. I wrote the names down, and I'm gonna definitely dive into it. I got some apps and stuff that I work with that'll. I don't know. I don't know these people. This is the first time I heard their names. You bringing them up.
If you do the research, they're buying up properties all over Moscow right now with under David LLC.
Yes, ma'am.
I got a lot of information. I can't really get all this outed online right now because it's a lot.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, connect with me. I mean, if you want, we can make a video about it together. Because she wants justice for the victims. That's why she was crying, but she's also scared. I'm off air this weekend or something, maybe after the or maybe after Christmas or right after Christmas break or whatever, or right after.
That's fine. Yeah.
If you
have my email, I can send you information. I think that's probably the best way is just to, I sent you another email because I was mad about the whole being, about being chatted about, but that's understandable. I understand people are really skeptical about people that call in and that may know something, and that's fine. I get it, you guys. But you and I can email back and forth if you'd like. I'm happy to do that and happy to provide the information. And I hope the attorney gets a hold of me too, because I have information. I have evidence. That's the only videos that I've even posted on YouTube. I haven't said anything about who I think it was up until this point.
Okay. Yeah, that's it's crazy. I mean, I've never heard of them people ever. I don't think I've heard of them at all.
The town of Moscow knows them. They all know them. Ask the town of Moscow. They all know who that guy is, but they won't say anything.
So are they like super? So I'm guessing their pockets are super deep.
Yeah, and deep in with the right people in school, in the police department, in the prosecuting, and the court system. They got their hands in all the pockets, man.
Now I want to ask you, what do you think their motive would be?
It's the revenge, and it's like I said, this guy's been killing since 1969. So he taught his sons how to do it.
Allegedly,
they're hunters. They're hunters. They're military. They're hunters. You guys, all of the speculation. Yes, he's military, and he taught his sons how to do this.
Wow. I haven't heard from her again. Who would they be getting revenge for? Do you think? Allegedly,
he owns the rivalry school, St. Andrew's College. He's the owner. He's the owner of everything in that town.
Do they steal cars? That's what asked by somebody who just.
Yes, they steal cars. They burn them on fire just to make videos on their Canon press. Canon press is a huge indicator of who's involved. But that's not just it. There's a lot of deep stuff. You don't want to go down rabbit holes. You want to read reputable articles, and you want to go to the right places. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, no doubt. I was just worried about like motive and evidence, like you said, revenge. So I was just trying to think, who they do. They don't
like the police. They don't like the police, and they don't like kids that are into partying.
What did they do and why?
The son's got something to do with they know that son knows them. Something's not coming out about Rory Wilson. Rory's the young one. Nathan works at the school with his daddy. Okay. Rory Wilson just graduated high school a couple of years ago in 2020. He's now going to his daddy's college, and the college is right downtown off of Main Street. And those, they're around there a lot. Those boys are around downtown a lot. They watch people down there a lot. And I can guarantee that they've had encounters with them girls.
That's a good question, Mary. Okay. So I definitely want to check into it and look into it more myself and
the see. Picture of the young one in my video, that's not what he looks like. That was him in 2020, you guys.
Okay.
He's grown up a little bit. So I can't really find many pictures of Rory. I have a couple of him playing basketball. He's a basketball player.
Uh-huh.
Okay. He looks just like Jackass. If you look at his face, He looks just like Jack Showalter, almost identical. They look like they could be brothers. So that's maybe part of the mix-up of the hoodie guy. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I am. We're gonna do. We definitely need to talk. Behind. We definitely need to do a little deep dive. Yeah, that video. I seen that video. It's where he talks about certain shit in there. That video is creepy. On this even and make a video on it. Maybe we can team up together behind. Never did. You know, I'll invite you in a link on StreamYard when you have a good connection. When I'm offline and I'm not doing a podcast, and we can do a deep dive on it and search up everything that we possibly can and collaborate on a video together and see.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I'm definitely listening to you. I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're a psycho. I don't think none of that shit. I really am listening to you because what happens in a lot of these cases, who comes back tied to it? People we don't even fucking think of or who we never heard of, right?
Okay.
So I mean,
that's why I named myself Joan of Arc. That's why that's my moniker. Because
teacher Nathan, he's a teacher.
I'm not playing. Like, I know that I said I'm scared of this guy, but you know what? If he wants to burn me on the cross, I'll take that for them kids.
Absolutely. I mean,
I'll take that.
Shout out to her on that. She said if they burn me on the cross, I'll take it for them kids. I respect it. Ethan is a basketball player. My head is spinning right now.
I'll take it. You can burn me for telling the truth. I don't care at this point.
Well, we'll talk. Stay close. Stay close, and you're gonna be safe. Don't worry about it. All right. So now that you heard that, if you want to call in 219-885-9693, phone lines are wide open. Make sure you hit me up. Right? Let's see. My name is Charlie, last name Wilson. Love that song. Maybe you should try and reach out to the Wilsons. I wonder how that'll work out. 720, you're on the floor. What's going on?
How you doing? It's Subconscious Mouth.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? I saw the video that you just put up with the lady who called in about the Wilson family just now.
Yeah, that was on that was on the 23rd of December. That was on my live on the 23rd of December that she called in, and I think it was like the second or third call into the stream, 29 minutes in.
Yeah. Now, since this whole Idaho 4 situation started, I've been hearing little murmurings about people have been calling them the Church of Christ cult, stuff of that nature.
Absolutely.
And, I'm not overly familiar with them either way to say, what's what. I just, every now and then, their name will pop up in relation to this Idaho 4 situation. And like I said, I don't want to say that they do or don't have anything to do with it because I truly don't know much about them.
Yeah.
Of course, now we know that this information surfaced as far as the Brady Giglio situation, and the Wilsons just so happen to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what I don't want to happen, right? Just for the sake of this conversation, let's say the stuff that people are saying about the Wilsons are right. I'm not saying it is, not saying it isn't, but let's just say it is. Yeah. I don't want people to get distracted as far as the potential lying and hiding exculpatory evidence by Moscow PD. Okay, if the Wilsons, if you want to investigate the Wilsons and see what's going on with them, yeah, I have no problem with that. I don't mind digging into them myself to see if some claims are true or what. So let that be its own issue. Don't let Moscow PD off the hook because the people, like you say, that are mentioned in the situations with the Wilsons as far as doing some type of dirty play. First of all, the Brady Giglio say it was an officer, right? Not a detective, not a corporal. The officers that are mentioned, Nunez and Gunderson. Now we know a Nunez was one of the first people at the scene of the crime for the Idaho 4 situation, and we know that because Corporal Payne, he said the only reason why he knew that Murphy was in that room was not because he saw Murphy, because he showed up at 4 o'clock. He said he knew it because he reviewed Nunez's body camera, which means Nunez was one of the first people there. He was there when Murphy was there. Right. Now, if this is the same Nunez, this is an individual who in the case with the Wilsons, it said in that paperwork that he hid exculpatory evidence for almost a year, and then he gave false testimony about what happened. So if this is the person who showed up first and was like one of the first responders to the scene of the crime, because this situation with the knife sheath, right? To ultimately try to prove that the knife sheath was there, because like I said, and I got a video I made about this situation today on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the knife sheath go, we talked about this before. There's a guy, two people who went into the room, and none of them can clearly say they saw it. One of them say they heard about it, and then one of them later on say he saw something that appeared to be a knife sheath. The moment you say appeared, that means you have a level of doubt about what you're seeing. So there's not a person in the room, even the two people who were in the room, who can say they saw it. So the ultimate thing you would think that would end all this is say, you know what? Let's get this body cam footage. That'll determine what we got. But if the person who have the body cam footage is someone who already proved that they were high exculpatory evidence and then give false testimony, how credible would the body cam footage be to prove a sheath was there? So I know some people are saying that this probably don't have anything to do with the investigation into Brian Kohlberger. Maybe it do, maybe it don't. But the thing is, even if it's with this Wilson situation, if this is the same Nunes, he's showing himself to be uncredible, untrustworthy.
Yeah, I agree, exactly. Nunes and Gunderson.
Exactly. Yeah. Was Gunderson one of the people who was one of the first arrivals as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
From what I see.
Yeah, man.
That's just shady. You can't that you know what I'm saying? Like that leaves them, they're not credible and won't be credible. And if they are, if they're any part of the trial, they're gonna get cross-examined and the defense is gonna dig into them.
Definitely. And with good reason. I mean, because I don't know if you read the part of the paperwork that said that the deputy prosecutor was having a sit down with Gunderson, and he was asking him some questions, and Gunderson told him, I would have to look at the video footage of the situation to be able to answer that. And the deputy prosecutor said, and this in the video I made today, he said that, man, I was shocked because the police department told me adamantly that there was no such video footage. And Gunderson is saying, I thought that was already public record. I mean, I thought that was just understood. Mm-hmm. So Gunderson is saying that there is video footage of what happened, but this deputy prosecutor is saying the department told him there's no such thing as no video footage. Mm-hmm. So that means they try to pull the fast one, if this is true, on the deputy prosecutor. And he's the prosecutor. I mean, man, this whole thing can make them as a whole look shady if you have to just rely on even Ann Taylor, Brian Kohlberger's attorney, she already got a guy off of a murder conviction because she proved that Bosco PD was lying. Now they came back and retried him and he ended up getting convicted, but the first time she got him off after they convicted him. So I don't know, man. Like you said, they didn't officially say which officers it was, but hey, we know you have a Nunes and a Nunes, you have a Gunderson and a Gunderson, both who are officers, both who have something to do with the Idaho Ford situation. So I mean, it'll be very interesting to see what comes of it. What do you think about it?
I think it's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't right. You know what I'm saying? There's I really want to know what it is. They're not disclosing it at this point, but I mean, I think we found out what it is. I feel like I think it has something to do with the Wilsons. I'm just going out on a limb and saying that. Now, could I be wrong? Yeah, I could be wrong, but everything points at it, in my opinion, especially if you're on the stand lying against somebody and that's already put out there, then that's an issue. That means you're not credible in court.
And you know what? Like you said, that alone is enough. But then when you already have those people coming into this Idaho 4 situation, and there are already a lot of questions about police and loose ends that need to be tied. And if this situation is already shaky on its own, then you find out people who are first responders have a shady past. You know, that's a recipe for, man, you know, that's a recipe for disaster.
Ain't no doubt.
One thing I do want to say to everybody that's listening, I mean, if you know anything about the Wilsons, you know, let us know. I mean, if you got some channels, leave some comments in my channels. I want you to just like let me know what videos to watch.
There's a video on it. I got it saved in one of my playlists. I'm gonna find that joint while we're on the live, because I got it saved because she sent it to me, and it was a full-blown video with Doug Wilson sitting down. Matter of fact, if I bet you I could just find it searching it. Doug Wilson, Moscow, Idaho, right? Yeah, the first video that pops up is him. So if you search Doug Wilson, Moscow, Idaho, first video is him, and his pastor seeks to make Moscow, Idaho a Christian town. That's the first jump that pops up.
Oh yeah, I looked him up a little bit. I'm talking about as far as like, you know, the shady behavior that people are saying. Because like I said, I don't know if it's true or not. Now, I know that some of the people that go to his church, they was involved in like some sexual inappropriate things. And I think even with some youngsters, I wouldn't necessarily say it is or isn't a reflection of the pastor himself, just because, you know, he might have had some creepy churchgoers who did some things that's inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I'm not here to take up or to not take up for the Wilsons. I just want people, if they have some credible stuff or some things that people need to look at, I want you to go to my comment in the video that I made today and just leave it. Tell me what to look at. Tell me what to find. You know, if they need to be looked into, hey, they need to be looked into. But I don't want to just go around just jumping on a bandwagon. Like, you know, we talk about this. We like to make up our own mind, get the information, and, you know, make up our own mind. So
for sure.
I hear a lot of people saying stuff about him, but yet I didn't hear, you know, I didn't see anything yet that will make me say, okay, we need to dig further into these people, and maybe we do, but I need to see something that'll make me.
Did you look the case they had in Moscow?
The Wilsons?
Yeah, with the posting Soviet stickers around town and shit.
Yeah, that's the situation that we're talking about now, where you know, they were not read the Miranda rights and stuff like that, and then they said that they told the Wilsons that, you know, you were going to be arrested, and then, you know, that's all this exculpatory evidence that was hidden for a year and lying about. That's what all this is about. You know, it sounded like they was protesting during COVID. And if I'm not, this is just my assumption. I think that the stickers that they put up, the Soviet stickers, they were trying to say, oh, you know, you're trying to turn this into like a communist Russia, a dictatorship, you know. I think they was on that side of things. This is not a dictatorship. This is a free country. And I think that's what that was about. Maybe Moscow police didn't, you know, like that, or, you know, had some issues with them or whatever because of it.
Mm-hmm.
But from my understanding, that was based off, basically they were just out there protesting, and they was within their rights. And this is even said in that paperwork that I talk about. Moscow police, I mean, the paperwork said that Nunez, he was wrong. He was out of line. You know, he was, you know, reacting with vengeance in so many words, and he handled this situation wrong. He hid evidence. He lied about stuff. It sounded like the Wilsons in this case actually was right, according to that paperwork that has come out. And the Soviet sticker situation is all wrapped up in that. Sound like it was just a protest.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this. She was saying there's some deep shit. Now she made a video then, and it shows that, like, it showed them burning a fucking truck and all types of crazy shit. So it was like she put a little video together at the time. Her name was Shelly Art.
Art.
Yeah, I had to go back and hopefully I can find it, because it was back in December. But her name is Shelly Art on YouTube. And when I watched the video, it like I said, they blew up a truck. They had some other shit going on in the video, which I played it on stream. I'm gonna have to really go back and find it because it was an interesting video on the shit that they do. And it was very interesting. I gotta find the video so you can watch it because it's pretty. Like I said, it's crazy. The shit that they allegedly are doing, like the Wilsons in general.
Yeah,
it's wild. If what she presented is true, it's crazy.
I mean, did you actually see any of them on the video, like doing some stuff?
Nah, see, yeah, a couple of the pictures showed some shit, but it was like still shot pictures that she was, she had like in a, how can I put this? She had like a slideshow, you know what I'm saying, of just still shot pictures of the shit that the Wilsons done over the years. And not only that, she was like, after the Wilsons that came in, that there's been a lot of unsolved murders and homicides and stuff like that. So I was like, damn. But yeah. I didn't see any more, you know what I mean? I never really did a deep dive on the Wilsons to look into their history on crime or anything like that.
Yeah, I say the same. I haven't really done like a deep dive. I just heard enough of them to make me say, let me just look up a little something. But nothing major. That's why I'm asking if anybody has something that's of significance or you feel really need to be looked at. Hey, please present it. I would like to, if there's something to really know about and, put the spotlight on them about, hey, I have no issue with that if it's warranted. But do not get distracted. Let that be its own separate issue. Folks, stay focused on the Moscow situation. Well, keep that in its own lane and let that be its own lane. Don't try to merge the two people. That's what I would say, You still don't want the wrong guy. If Kohlberger is not the guy, you still don't want the people who are actually responsible for it to go free. So
yeah, ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt. And you don't want him to go free. That's why the shit, I don't know, like, was this location specifically chosen for the reason of all the issues that would be brought about? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, somebody would know, you know what I mean? Like, would know the history of the town or police corruption that's went on, so they know they could do something and use things to try to get out of it. I don't know. I just start thinking like that. Like, if folks just choose these victims to and carry out an obsession, I don't know. That's how I'll be thinking when I think about this shit. But these Wilson dudes, the way that she portrayed them is just like, she seemed very scared, and I don't know like where, beforehand she heard all the information from, but I'd like to hear from her again and hear exactly where she heard the information. But she said she sent it into lawyers and FBI and all that other shit.
Yeah. You are, and is that the only conversation? Did y'all talk off camera about anything?
She was in Discord talking too, but I ain't really paying no mind like that. I was like, you know what? I'm listening to you and I hear you. And I watched the video she sent me, which was the first video that pops up. But in reality, I was like, I don't know. We'll wait. And then pretty much a couple of days right after, there was an arrest and a murder. So I was like, damn, there we go.
Yeah. I mean, this whole thing is just strange, bro. I mean, the crime itself, 4 people get stabbed in the middle of the night. Exactly. 2 people don't get I mean, look, it's crazy. This whole thing is just wild, man.
It's deep.
This is a wild situation.
And it's,
I mean, like,
love you.
Nah, man.
It's deep, bro.
Man.
It's super deep.
It is, man. And I talk about this in one of the videos because police gotta be looked at first as far as we know. From what I said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. From the information that we have thus far, now most stuff might come out, but from what we have thus far, police have to be the first people everybody, in my opinion, should be looking at, with all these unanswered questions and all this extra stuff coming out and everything like that.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Then you got the gag order on there, so yeah, no doubt.
Like Dylan being, and look, I'm not even saying Dylan did or didn't have something to do with it, but I mean, to just believe her story out the gate like that, even though she was there, but Kohlberger just bought, not Kohlberger, whoever did it, I don't want to make it sound like it's necessarily him.
Right.
Did she really say this guy just killed 4 people and walked right past her? Why do you believe that like that? You know, we talked about the car situation the last time I called. It wasn't the right year, how it wasn't really as close to the home as they saying. I mean, police gotta look at police, everybody. Really hold them accountable. Don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't want to be against them. Just let the information tell you what it is. Because if they're involved, you don't want them to get away with it neither. And it's even worse if they're involved, because an average citizen only got but so much power.
Right.
If they're involved and have power, I'm telling you, look, hold them accountable. Really examine what they're saying. Size it up, break it down, be unbiased about it. It's important. This with this crazy crime that, like we just saying how weird and crazy and big this is, if they're involved, what could really be going on here? That's why the very first time I called your show, I don't know if you remember what we talked about, but
yeah, no doubt.
I don't exclude that. Oh man, I mean, and you know, that kind of stuff is going on. I gave proof. If I don't know if people actually may go watch the video, but the guy is on there saying to himself that this is happening. And he's a Utah County attorney. He said that his friend cut out a deer's heart and cut it open and drunk the blood for ritualistic purposes. Mm-hmm. And that same guy is being investigated for Homeland Security. It's crazy. Did we talk about the Montana situation the first time I talked?
What was it? Refresh me on it.
I was telling you about if law enforcement are potentially involved in this situation, people need to factor in the possibility of this being like a ritualistic cult type of situation that happened. And I was telling people, if you don't believe that it could be the case, you have some people that are really high up, like politicians, law enforcement, lawyers who are involved in this stuff. And there's a guy right now in Utah County. He's a Utah County attorney. And he did an interview at the end of last year, 2022. And he was basically coming forward saying, I don't have anything to do with this ritualistic stuff, like trying to beat everybody to the punch, because his neighbor and good friend is already being accused of this stuff. And his neighbor and good friend is a therapist. And he said that in 2022, I have nothing to do with it. It's false. It's been debunked. But then in 2020, he didn't know that the video was going to surface that he did with Homeland Security. And Homeland Security was investigating him because they believe he had something to do with human trafficking. And in that interview, he admitted that his friend was involved in ritualistic stuff. His friend cut open a deer, took the heart out, drunk the blood. And he admitted that these ritualistic claims, it's true. This stuff is true.
That's crazy.
But then in 2000,
that's crazy.
Utah County attorney. And now 2 years later, when he did a press conference, when he probably thought that interview wasn't going to surface, he came out, oh, it's nonsense. It's gibberish. Those people who saying that they have mental problems. It was like he was using his status to discredit them, because if somebody's a Utah County attorney, they got a friend as a therapist, I guess socially they look more prestige. So they are trying to throw these people out as wackos. But 2 years earlier, he admitted that it was true. So, and
yeah, that's wild, bro. That's crazy. Drinking blood,
and it's true though. But that's the fact.
That's demonic.
It's satanic ritual. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's demonic shit.
If anybody want to see that video, I got a video called True Crime. Say that. Go ahead.
I was talking to Sleuthie. She said it kicks me straight to voicemail. She trying to call in. I'm gonna get a couple more to call in. I appreciate you calling in though. Again, Subconscious Mouth. Definitely hit me up on Twitter. Inbox me on Twitter.
Quickly, if anybody want to check out that video that I'm talking about with the guy, Subconscious Mouth is a channel. The name of the video is True Crime Moscow. Bighorn murders / Moscow murders. Organized? I'm asking that question. All right. Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah, no doubt, brother. I appreciate you calling up and sharing your knowledge with us, man. Thank you for having a voice in the community, my boy.
All right, thanks.
All right, Bees. Shout out to him, man. All right, it's open now. You can call him. Very strange. Where's the autopsies? Yes, that one with the reflection. With the reflection. I can't find her channel anymore. I think she deleted it all. I think BK is the guy too, but we don't know everything, and everything that comes out to this point is absolute guilt. To his absolute guilt. I need to see what all the evidence says first. Exactly. That's what I'm waiting on. This is batshit crazy. You should be able to get through now, though. No doubt. 304, what's up? You're live. You can hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I can hear you now.
So, did you hear me tell you it's Lucy?
No, I didn't, but I hear you now though. For some reason.
Okay, so well, my service is bad, so I may even cut out on you. But my thing with this whole thing is I don't see how anybody could think that there's not an issue with the fact that there is any investigators there. Or forget this case. Like let's forget this case. Is it okay that they're acting in some type of way that is not right? I mean, this is my thing. So, if this has anything to do with that case, which does look really bad, and I think it looks bad regardless, and it hasn't been turned over, it needs to be. But the whole Stickergate thing, I mean, not for nothing, but they've been going through that for the last 2.5 years. So if there's only just now an internal investigation, an internal affairs investigation, then they are way out of the loop. That's something that already should have been happening back when they found out that they had not given over the tape that they had of those kids, and one was a minor. So it's likely that it's either something else entirely, or it has something to do with this. And my thing is if they're out here acting a fool, regardless, that should be an issue. Because what about other crimes? I mean, do you want someone who is, do you want someone that acts, what is the word that I'm looking for? You know, how they get the Brady thing. I can't even think right now because I'm just so, like, I hear people are like, well, this might not have anything to do with this case. He might have, like, beat his wife and stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, so is that okay? I mean, I don't understand. Like,
right.
That's still bad. I still don't want that person investigating anything that has to do with me or pulling my son over. I mean, it's just to pretend like this is like a big thing. And if this is a normal everyday thing, and there's a bunch of police officers, dude, I was listening to other cops talking about this, and they were like, we've not even like heard about it. We've never even dealt with this or even heard about it. I don't even know what this is. And I'm thinking, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. This doesn't happen everywhere. This is not a normal thing where you have people walking around on patrols that are acting outside of the way that they're supposed to be of the law.
This shit's crazy, right? I mean, you got, I don't know, yeah, definitely wouldn't want them working the case at all and lying on the stand and shit like that. I don't know. I was looking at some of the paperwork and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? How did these guys even still have their job?
Right. And that subconscious mouth, I actually just tweeted his most recent video about this just a little bit ago because he said it perfectly. And I'm thinking, okay, so let's say that it is this whole Stickergate issue.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're accused of doing is hiding exculpatory evidence, okay, and lying on the stand, lying under oath. So you have two out of the three people that we know that responded to the house first are included in that lawsuit, okay, and are accused of the same exact thing. So you got to figure they got the call at noon. I don't know who was all there, but the other two didn't show up until 4, right?
Right.
So so you have these people's word and their body cam footage to go off of. Well, if that's what you're going off of, and you get to court, and this person, these two people have to sit on the stand and get cross-examined over the fact that they hid exculpatory evidence for a year and lied under oath previously, how is that going to go over? That's not going to go over so well when they were the first two on the scene. I mean, it's potentially, if that is what it is, that is potentially a large problem. But for anybody to think that, and to be honest, as I'm looking at the filings, there was a supplemental, there was two, and they've been sealed. There was the supplemental request for discovery from the defendant a while ago. And then there was the second supplemental request for discovery, and then this came out. So I'm not even entirely sure that this was offered up just out of like the goodness of their hearts and as a precaution, because they were asked for supplemental discovery that is sealed, and then all of a sudden they're filling out this Brady Giglio disclosure. So I would say it's more likely that the defense, and she has done this in the past, it's more likely that the defense found something that was an issue and confronted them about it and asked them for more information through discovery.
Do you think this
and
is
then they were
do you
forced
think this
to.
is the issue?
The whole Stickergate thing, I don't know. Like I said, the only reason it makes me think no is the fact that that's been going on for 2.5 years. And I feel like if you only waited till right now to have been looking into that, that's a problem for me, since you all been aware of it since at least December. It could be something bigger. And again, I've been trying to get people away from talking about it in regards to this case specifically, just simply because this is not okay with me at all. If this has nothing to do with the case and he beats his wife, or he lied and covered up evidence in a different case that has nothing to do with this one, that's still a problem for me.
Right.
If we're going to say that an average person's past behavior is a predictor for their future behavior, then we have to say the same stuff, right?
No doubt.
So
100%.
It seems it's getting shrugged off a little bit, or this is normal. And as I know that there's good people and bad people in all professions, and being a cop in Philadelphia is not easy. And my uncle did it for many, 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 many years, decades. And he was a good person and a good cop. Okay. So to go around and say that this happens everywhere, and that it's not a big deal, it is a big deal. It's a big deal to law-abiding citizens, right? And it's a big deal to police who meet the oaths that they swear to, you know?
For sure.
So
this case has been a circus.
This is the weirdest. It's the weird.
I think she hung up. I don't know. Did she accidentally hang up? Hold up. Let me see if she hung up. I think maybe she lost service. Let's see. Continue. Why didn't she go check out? It was just on the second floor. I'm starting to get a bad taste in my mouth from him. He just keeps coming on here talking about it. Lord. Oh no. But if you want to call in, it's 219-885-9693. What's your thoughts? Right? Put them in the chat. Whose channel was taken down by YouTube? I wonder if the Wilsons got it taken down. Lisa? That's interesting. Anybody who wants to call in, though, you're more than welcome to call in. Like I said, it's 219-885-9693. Call in. Hit the line. Let's hear from 267 sent from heaven. You're live. What's going on?
What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hanging in there. So, man, what's your thoughts on all this shit that you're hearing?
Listen, man. Well, first off, I changed my name, but this is Chris K.
Chris,
And
hey, what's going on, my brother? How you doing, man?
what's up, man?
Hopefully
Listen,
your family's doing well, and hopefully you've been doing well, man. Nice to hear from you.
yeah, I'm doing good, man. My daughter's good, and we're doing all right. But listen, man, since the last time we talked, which was a while ago,
yes, sir.
right? And I said a lot of stuff like he's gonna fry and all this kind of stuff, and I did mention that he was normal back in the day, and you kind of wouldn't expect this from somebody like himself. And now I'm seeing all this coming out, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to think. Like I don't know what's going on. And like everybody in the community that obviously went to school with him is posting all over Facebook, like flipping out over this, man. And I'm just trying to figure out what your thoughts are since we last spoke, from where you were to where you are now, because I don't want to look like I personally can't have an opinion on this because I knew him, but I'm more intrigued about how you feel about all this because since we spoke last, like what changed your mind? Like what's really standing out to you?
I mean, there's with this shit going on with the gigolo or whatever they call it act, but I looked up the definition and then I listened to a few lawyers on it, and I don't know, like I really, to be honest with you, I think, and I'm just speaking for me, I really think Brian has something to do with it. I still feel that way, but with this shit coming out with officers that are lied on the stand and shit like that, it messes with my mind in a bit. It just, I don't know, it messes with my mind a lot, actually, not just a bit, a lot. It messes with it because it's like, why, like what's going on, like why.
Exactly.
How are these dudes still on the force is what comes to my mind first, right? That's the first thing I think about. I'm like, why? How are these dudes? How are they on the force still? Like, if you lied against somebody, and it's criminal, and you lied against them, you shouldn't even be a police officer.
Yeah. Plus, you're going up against Ann Taylor, who's like, she's really good at picking out stuff like that. I
mean, I personally do feel like Brian's our guy, but then again, at the same time, I need to see more evidence other than the sheath, because with everything coming out about these cops, it doesn't look good from a standpoint of the defense can really fight. If they got officers on the scene that are liars, they have a fighting chance, and that's just the reality of it.
And that's what I mean, and that's why the reason I'm asking your opinion, and I can't see the chat or anything like that to see how anybody else is feeling, is because, I knew this individual, and I knew this individual's mother very well, right? And I just can't imagine, like, how people who were closer to him feel to how his mother's feeling right now, seeing all this. Because to me, to be honest with you, my mind's spinning. I'd rather have seen something that came out that was just concrete and this be put to rest, and this case not be talked about until June. But instead, every week, every couple of weeks, something's coming out that's going to jeopardize this. They want to do that. They don't have this, and I'm like, man, like, how am I supposed to feel? You know what I mean? Like,
right?
I don't know, man. This is it's a tough position to be in. As far as how I'm supposed to view this.
So what do
from
you
knowing this
think
individual?
he's possibly innocent now after hearing certain things that's been put out?
I mean, listen, if I just zoomed out and looked at this and I just kind of, had all the pieces of the puzzle, they wouldn't fit.
Right.
So, I mean, I'll just leave it at that. I mean, again, remember, me and you spoke before any kind of PCA came out or anything. It was just, it was like right around the time they were tracking his plane. So like, they were still like tracking his plane. So, I had an opinion before all that came out. So seeing all this and now seeing what came out, yesterday or the day before, like, it's hard not to think the other way, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm criticized if I think that way. You know what I mean? Because I knew him, but how can you not?
Right.
If you just look at the facts and what's presented so far. I mean, I don't know. Call me what you want, but I don't know, man. It's like I said, I wish this would have been put to rest months ago, which is weird to say because obviously you didn't want him to do it, but
Right.
You know, you want closure for these families and stuff like that. And them as well. I can't imagine being these families seeing this stuff.
That's what I'm saying, man.
You know what I mean?
I can only wonder what they're thinking about this shit. I mean, they're talking about demolishing the house and all this. I mean, it's crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, now I got a question for you about that, and I'm sure you know more about law than I do. Now, can a jury, I mean, just hypothetically, can a jury request to go to a crime scene if they wanted to?
That's a good question that I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm dead ass cannot answer that. I don't want to give you I don't want to be like, yeah, nah.
No, that's cool. I have no clue. You know, it's a question I had because, you know, if they have no house to go to and the jury requests that, that's not good.
Man, I know about as much as everybody else in here does. I just have the platform and give the voice for everybody to speak. Like, I mean, I know a little bit of shit.
Yeah, me too.
You know, like I don't know everything. So, like, you know, the Gigolo shit, I had to relook up because I've heard of it before, but it's been a long time since I've heard that term. So I looked it up.
Gigolo, not gigolo, right?
Gigolo, whatever the Brady, you know, whatever it is. But I've heard of it before, but I had to look it up again to refresh my mind on what the fuck it is.
Okay.
I just don't. I don't know, man. This is a big circus. I hopefully.
Yeah, listen, I can't. It's crazy. Like I have people reaching out to me, like, "Yo, what is going on?" Dude, I'm like, I don't know. I you know, like you said, it's crazy, and the community is up in arms because you know they were hanging this guy a couple months ago, and now it's like people are saying the opposite. And it's like, what the heck? Like, and of course, I knew this person. I have to know the only person right now in the United States that's, you know, accused of something this heinous that people think is innocent now. It's like, what the heck, man?
I mean, yeah, I've seen a lot more people leaning towards him I see a lot more people now than I ever have leaning towards him being innocent. But I'm like, hey, we got to sit back and think about this. Nothing, no physical evidence has been shown yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
like nothing.
Exactly.
Because think about this, Chris. If the evidence, if that's why I'm saying I'm waiting to see if they collected and if his evidence, or I'm sorry, if his skin cells or anything is on the victims, then that would pretty much.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't know what they had.
But I assume, which obviously you would assume too, is, you know, you're going to put your, you know, if you have very strong evidence, you're going to put that in, especially in a 16, 17 page PCA, you're going to put that in there because that's going to be something that you don't know, you know, no bail and concrete enough for an immediate arrest. So I just feel like, you know, they would have put that in there. And that's what confuses me is like,
but the thing is, we got to think about this also. Yeah, probably maybe they'd put that in there, right? But then we got to think about all the shit they collected from him, his car, everything like that. You know, they pretty much got a gag order right after. So you figure they lit that whole car up with Illuminol to see if there's probably any blood in there.
Oh yeah.
And
there's no
testing his clothes too. They can't put that out yet because they're under a gag order, so they can't even really speak if any of the test results came back with any of the victim's blood on any of the clothing they collected, his house. You know what I mean? Like, so all that's been under gag. So we're not going to hear that. We're just going to see what they put out, what they want to foot out to us to look at.
Which is weird because why would you want if I'm looking at this and you see the public now turning, like you just said, you know, wouldn't you want to put out something that is concrete so everybody just be like, all right, you know, let's stop, you know, talking about this and being up in arms about this. You know what I mean? So I feel like if they had some, I don't know, I would put it out. We'd be like, listen, we have this and this. All right, it's him. Stop, you know, with all this. But instead they keep coming out with, now the news is talking about him possibly being exonerated. And I'm just losing my mind because, like, you know, it's just complete opposite of what they were just talking about a few weeks ago. And it's like, this happened overnight. The heck? I wake up and everybody's headline is, you know, new document comes out that could possibly get him off. And I'm like, no way.
I mean, no way. You know what else strikes me as something weird, Chris, is has anybody else been arrested? If, you know, that was allegedly what he said when he got arrested. Has anybody else been arrested? So what, you know what I mean? Like, what the does that mean? Like,
that's why maybe I'm you know, I assume and think that that's why there's such a strong gag order, because maybe, they don't want maybe there's somebody else involved out there that they don't want to know what information. I don't know. I don't know why. Can you justify why such a strong gag order on top of everything else?
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Why would there?
I mean, even the families are questioning the gag. So I don't know. Like I said, once it all comes out, we're all going to be just, I think, in shock. I can't believe it now. So at this point, nothing could come out that can surprise me, because what came out yesterday or whatever day that was, I was just mind blown.
My thoughts on the gag order being so tight like it is now is because how big the case was, right? This case was so big, bro. Like, we had literally 5,000 people in chat, phone ringing. They broke Google calling in the lines, during the search during looking for the murderer and shit like that. And the day that he got arrested, he had like 5.7 thousand in this live stream call.
I remember. It was nuts.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It was nuts. So I was like, damn, like this is insane. So the fact that, I don't know, I think that's why there's such a strong gag order, is because it's so big that it can mess with a juror pool in my decision,
But I'm saying, but also the stuff that they're coming out with, that they're, because like you just said, that the public's view is switching. That can mess with a juror pool as well. So that's why, I mean, like, why are they? I feel like them having such a strong gag order right now is hurting them if they don't have strong evidence. If they don't have strong evidence, and I understand, the gag order 100%, but if they had damning evidence against him, I'd want that out. So, it would sway the other way, because what they're putting out right now, what the news is saying, like you just said, is swaying people the opposite way, which you don't want right now, especially before a trial happens. So I don't know. I just feel like something's not adding up because of the way it's coordinating right now. But again, this is just my opinion. I don't know.
So have you been just sitting back watching, different things be released and just like, damn?
Well, again, I've been sitting back watching people, come out with, all these narratives, and I'm like, just looking at other cases, because you got to remember, my man, I knew this person, so I'm looking at this like, what's differentiating this case from other, like those 6 people that were, gunned down in their own home. It was like a whole family in California. That was talked about for a day, gone. And it's like, this was continued to talk about, and then all these narratives started coming out. So, and I started looking at other cases, big cases that have happened and just gone away. And there's still questions to those, but this, people were coming out with stuff, people coming out. So I'm just like, okay, nobody really knows what's going on. But then when I just saw this document, I was like, wow. And I saw that everybody's, title to their panel or lives, was, he could possibly get off from this. And then I watched the news, and the news is saying it. Like I told you earlier, I have to, have an opinion one way. And just from looking at everything, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it all adds up. So I don't know. Will it add up to 12, unbiased people? I'm not sure.
Have you talked to his family?
Of course not. No.
I was just.
I told you.
I heard they're losing jobs and all types of shit, which I feel like they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be.
No. Nobody. I mean, listen, we all knew his mother. She was. We all saw her every day. So nobody's like reaching out to her and asking her. I can't imagine what all 5 families are going through. So I mean, nobody's gonna reach out and try to, console or get any answers, because it's just like you said, people are going through enough, losing jobs, getting harassed by the media. They did some kind of documentary up here a little while ago in January, and they texted me probably 15 times to be involved in this. Like, they literally went in the yearbook and just started contacting everybody to be in this documentary. And again, to talk about how bad, he was and all this stuff. But yet now look what happens. A couple months later, they come out with stuff like this, and now people think the opposite way. This is why don't start making documentaries and movies, stuff like that, until a trial happens and it's, we know what's going on. Because right now they're just trying to take what we know, like me and and figure out their own narrative to it because of that gag order. So it's not healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely not, man. It's definitely
No, not when you tell them like you're not interested, and they literally just call you, and it's like, man, it's like, what the heck? Like, leave us alone, you know? So, again, like I told you, I haven't spoken to him since, you know, I graduated. And I didn't, you know, I don't know his family like that, but I knew his mother from seeing her in the school. So I just, you know, my head's spinning. That's why I wanted to call in, because I wanted to get your take on this from seeing all this, from how you felt when me and you first spoke. Because again, it's been a while. It's been a minute.
my take is like every time I hear something new come out. When I heard this come out, I was like, damn, you know, because a lot of people, I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of people that I talk to that, you know, I respectfully disagree with on a lot of things. And and there's still, you can respectfully disagree with people and still be good friends with people, and you know what I mean? Like we have healthy debates, and you know, a lot of stuff they've been saying, there's more to this, there's more to this, there's more to this. And then you got shit like this that comes out and it just hits me like, yeah, I think there is more to this. So it's like, you know, that's where I'm at with it. Now, do I think he, you know, didn't do this? No, but do I think there's more to this? Yeah, now with weird shit like this coming out, allegedly.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. If he did do it and all this is coming out and it causes a mistrial, then shame on, you know, everyone for how they, like I said, operated all this, because this is nuts. I mean, I don't know. Like you said, knocking down the house, this document, what else? And I mean, let's go over it. Possible contaminated crime scene. You know, there's, and then you have the whole, she represented like 3 or 4 of the family members. So it's just, you have a recipe for disaster as far as the prosecution goes right now. And again, this is just an unbiased standpoint from just looking at, you know, just looking at everything. I feel like the prosecution's in a tough spot right now, a very tough spot. And, you know, that's why I said, I don't feel like this gag order is helping them in any way. I feel like everything that's coming out is just helping the defense to use as ammo later on. And like I said, to find a way to get a mistrial. So if he did do it and he gets off, that's crazy. You know?
Yeah, if he did do it,
we know
it from the acts of other police officers and their credibility, that'd be nuts, right?
Of course. I mean, listen, you know, like you said, this was so big. They did so much. They had their guy. They had a community that was distressed. They had a campus that was shut down. So, you know, we thought they had their guy. And now that they're even questioning that it might not be their guy, and like you said, it might be him, but there might be something else going on. So if somebody else is still out there, or something else is still going on that, you know, nobody knows about, and that's kind of scary. You know, I'd be a little worried if I lived in that area. Would you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. With the office, it's supposed to be a gray area, right, Chris? You look at the area, they say they paint it great. It's awesome. It's the best, you know, there's no crime rate here, low or very low crime rate here. It's a good place to live. But at the same time, you got officers doing shit like this and lying on the stand. That's to me, I wouldn't want to live there.
No, you know? I mean, no, especially if I had like a child going to the campus and I saw that, you know, they're coming out and now there's even a question that, like you said, there's something else going on, or it might possibly not be this person that they arrested and this person might still be out there. Like that's unsettling, to say the least. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, being in that community, I would love to know how they're like. It'd be nice if somebody came on, you know, your panel and called in and, you know, talked about how they feel right now and they live in that community. You know what I mean?
There's been multiple people that have before. I just haven't heard from anybody in a while besides, did you hear that phone call I had with the woman from Pullman?
So I saw a couple mothers that called in of people of kids that go to the school, but I saw the video you just played a little bit ago of somebody freaking out, and I want to ask you about that because again, I missed what led up to that video, I just came in and that video was playing, and I was like, somebody was freaking out, and I was like, what happened?
All right,
Was that somebody?
Yeah, that is a girl named well, she had a channel as Shelly Art, but she called in on December 23rd, and she was saying that, you know,
oh wow, a while ago.
Yes, it was right before he got arrested, and she was telling us about the Wilsons, which it's funny because this was before Brian got arrested. So the Wilsons had an issue with officers involved in the Idaho 4 case, which these officers lied on the stand against them in court. And I feel like maybe that's where the issue is. After doing research and looking, like I spent all night, what was it, Tuesday? I was up all night, like all the way to like 5 a.m. digging to look for what could potentially be the issue. And I found that, and I was like, damn. And then I looked at the name, and I was like, I swear I've heard those names before. And then I thought back. I was like, you know what? I got a call from somebody that said these names in this case, the Rory Wilson, Nathan Wilson, and his brother, which are one of them's a teacher. Like it's dude, it's insane. The officers that were involved, like I think it was Nunes and Gunderson, allegedly lied on the stand against them. So I'm like, is that where the issue is? And why are they still police officers? Why were they at the Moscow, Idaho?
Why jeopardize? Why jeopardize more cases?
Exactly. Why were they even still working there? One, and then why are they why were they at the murder scene? But then again, you wouldn't know it was a murder scene. You were just going to the scene in general. But why would they even be in a position to even be on that scene? They shouldn't even have their job no more if they lied on the stand. I mean, or
some kind of desk job, going to a scene to, because everywhere they go, if something happens like this, and they have a past, it's going to be brought up by a defense attorney.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to nail them with that shit. They're going
to. And again, you don't want to give this public defender anything, and they're giving her everything. It's like, what the heck? She's going to use all this. This is, I mean, even if they have, like you said, even if they have a lot more evidence, just all this in general is going to be used against the prosecution. And it's, like I said, this is already an uphill battle for the prosecution before this trial even started. And to be honest with you, just from, following some, trials and cases before, I've never seen something like this. Like, I've never seen something this, I've never seen like you said, somebody get tracked across the country, like in shackles with armed men. And now it's like, oh, it might not be him. What? Like, oh man. Dude, I don't know. And like I said, I don't know how to feel because, I can't imagine being in that cell and possibly he didn't do it. I mean, that's insane. I don't know. But like you said, I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm just saying if he's watching the news and the news is saying it now and they're allowed to watch news in there, like imagine him sitting there watching the news and the news is saying like, oh, this document came out saying that there was, oh God, and he's a criminology major or whatever he was. Jesus mighty. This is going to be wild in June. I mean, even the preliminary is going to be.
Yeah, the preliminary, the trial, it's all going to be a circus.
Now, a lot of people have been saying different things. And again, I don't know this. Can only one side have witnesses at the preliminary hearing, or can both? Like, could there be cross-examinations? Like, can all that happen at a preliminary hearing, or no? Is it just they just present the evidence to the judge and?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just presenting the evidence and all that shit. Now, can it?
Okay.
And then
right,
trial, it'll be going down.
Okay.
Trial, it'll be going down for sure.
Oh, it's like I said, I don't even know if I'm not gonna be able to watch that. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like, it's not gonna be like the Murdoch trial. It's gonna be wild.
Oh, dude, it's gonna blow that trial out the water, man. In my opinion.
Yeah. And again, this is just from everything I've seen, in my opinion as well, because of everything the defense has right now to use. And like I said, to be honest with you, even though I knew this person, I kind of wish they came out with just something that when they said, hey, we have blood at the scene, or we have this, or like you said, we have his DNA under the fingernails of one of the victims, like, and that just be put to rest. But instead, like, dragging us on like this and coming out with all this stuff, I'm going to be honest with you, brother. It's making it hard. Like it's messing with my mind that, like, you know, if it isn't him and he just went through all this, right? I just can't imagine that, you know, and then here I am on here talking about him and stuff. And like, if he gets out and he sees this stuff and he's going to watch all these things that we're talking about,
hell
like,
yeah. He's going to watch every single one of them.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know. Here's what I hope. I hope that whatever document they just came out with is just them covering their, you know, like you said, because there was an officer involved in something before. I hope this is just something that they presented saying, hey, you know, we're, you know, this happened before. We just, you know, we're coming out with it now. So, you know, blah, 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 just so it doesn't come out later on in trial. I don't know, probably not, but, you know, I heard that might be a possibility. So again, it could be something that has nothing to do with, you know, causing any kind of mistrial. But again, because we don't know all the details, it could possibly be. And that's what's kind of scary. So, yeah. But all right, man, listen, I appreciate talking to you again. Like I said, it's been a while. I wanted to get your take on all this because, you know, a lot has happened since we spoke. So
yeah, it's at the point where it's like, bro, like, it's nuts. Drop that. Like, June couldn't come any faster. I mean, we still got damn near what, 3 full months to wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, you and I both know damn well they're going to come out. A lot of more stuff's going to come out until then, and you know, this is not going to go away. People are going to talk about this for the next 3 months unless something comes out that, you know, like they still haven't found the girl in the Walsh case, correct?
Right.
And you know, and nobody's up in arms about that yet. They still haven't found her. But what they found, you know, all that damning evidence. So obviously we all, you know it's him. This is the complete opposite. And that's why this is going to be talked about until, like you said, we know what the heck is going on, because it's not looking good in the public's eyes right now. And it should be the opposite way. It should be looking bad like it was before. Like when me and you spoke, everybody was hanging him. You know, I said, you know, I said right on your panel, I said he should fry, you know, if he did this. And now, you know, I gotta see all this. So, you know, like I said, I'm just gonna sit back. I'm not gonna watch, you know, every time they come out with something. I'm not gonna keep digging into it because I'm just gonna beat myself up over it. I'm just gonna see how it pans out, and you know, hopefully, like I said, this document is just, you know, something they presented to cover their own ass, so it doesn't come out later on and defense brings it up to use against them. So, but all right, man. I hope you have a good night, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Man, nice to hear from you. You know, I'll hear from you again because, you know, we're gonna be definitely keeping in touch throughout this case. I mean,
yeah, of course.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll be following you. So God bless you, man.
Yeah,
talk to you later.
Brother. Glad to hear the family's doing well, and I'll hear from you again, brother. Stay blessed and stay healthy, and be careful out there, man. Lock your doors. You know.
That's right. All right, man. You too. Have a good night, man.
Later. And if you want to call in 219-885-9693, what's your take on all this? Call in. I want to hear from you. What is your take on all this? Now, that was somebody that knew Brian. I had a phone call with him. That's on my 252. What's up? You're live.
Hey, T-REV. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
All right. How's your health? I hope you're in great shape.
Yes, ma'am. I'm fine. I'm feeling great. Okay,
that's good. Good to hear that. So I just I had called into your show before. So I'm in North Carolina, and I had, you know, I'm a researcher, so I do research and I bring the receipts when I call. So,
yeah.
So I did some research about this, and they do have a Brady list for the Moscow Police Department. So this is not the first time that they've had some problems with their officers. And in the past, they have terminated some and not terminated others. So this is not looking good. So all you have to do is go to their website and pull up the word Brady. What I did was I pulled up the word Brady list, and it'll pop up.
You talking about on the police website?
On that police, I think the law requires each law enforcement police department to keep a Brady list, a list of their officers that's been involved with, you know, this type of stuff. And so it's on their website.
Okay. Definitely check that out.
Yeah, and also, so it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's some corruption there. So I mean, when I looked through the report last night, I think I saw your short video last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I went and took a look, and oh my goodness. So it's and I did some more digging after going to that website. But this is my perception. So I put that out there. It's a lot of small town corruption going on. It's just too many. It's just too small, and really doesn't seem to be enough people in positions to kind of check them. You know what I mean? To check each other. Does that make sense?
Right.
So yeah, but just take a look at that. It's there. Not unless they pulled it down as of last night. But I have the link. But you know, the link just takes you back to their website because I don't download too much on my phone. And then also last week I ran into a personal situation myself with with a serious matter with my doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out from, they said that they were calling me about something they really needed to call me about, but it wasn't showing up in my phone log. I wasn't getting missed calls, and I wasn't getting the voice messages, right? So I've learned since last week. So all you have to do is call your cell phone company or whoever it may be at the corporate level and go to their IT division, not the places that you walk into and buy a phone, but call the experts. And they are very clear that cell phone technology is not reliable. And so my doctor had left me a voice message on Monday,
mm-hmm.
and it did not show up in my voice messages until Wednesday. And it did not show up in my call log as a missed call or incoming call, and it did not show up at the cell phone company's information at all either. So it's not reliable. So I don't know what they're going to do. So it's just not looking good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And if you, want to learn more about cell phone technology.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but did it tell you officers' names when you specifically went on the website?
Yes, but some of those officers are no longer there. And then some of the officers, I think they've switched to, I'm trying to get my notes. Yeah, it will. It have the officers' names, but it gives you the names and it gives you these numbers. And then you can see if any criminal charges came out of it, but that's kind of the gist of it.
Mm.
But some of the officers are no longer with that department, but they have gone on to have other careers, elsewhere. So,
and the police, in the police force somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like that all over America, though. I don't want to bring them down because of that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, for sure, we see that shit go on. Chicago, New York, all different types of.
So I guess I just had too higher of an expectation from small town America because that's where I'm from.
Yes, ma'am.
But small town politics can be just as bad as big time. Yeah, it's called. I'm in my phone. Everything is in my phone.
Yeah, take your time. You're fine. Oh, I see exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's called Brady. I think it's Brady /list.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. You can get all the PDFs for it too.
Yeah, so I try not to download PDFs because it's just a file that eats up space on my phone. You know what I mean? Or on my computer. So I just do the links, but sometimes stuff disappears off of their website. So it's probably best to download the PDF. But were you able to pull it up and see the list of names?
I'm looking at it right now. I got a whole big. What is like 20? What 11 to 20 results? Council 12.
Yeah. And I guess the 22 in front of it dash whatever means the year 22. I assume that was 2022 or I don't know, but it's the Brady list.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now as we speak.
Excuse me.
That's wild. What made you go up? So what made you think about just going to the website to see if you could see what you could find?
Oh, your thing last night. I got fired up too after I saw your video. I was like, what the world?
Yeah, because I was digging around looking up Moscow corruption on just everywhere. I was in Reddit. I seen a couple conversations going on about a few different people, and I was like, all right, let me Google this. So I found the Soviet Moscow like sticker case thing that they had or whatever, the Rory Wilson and Doug Wilson sons. I guess that's who they are, Nathan, Rory, and I forget the other dude's name, but yeah, that shit, they were posting stuff up. But anyways, Nunes and Gunderson, lied on the stand on him. So, and so skip all that. They were at the scene at the Idaho Ford murders. You know what I mean? So if you already got two cops there that have lied before on the stand, I don't even know why they're working for your police force anymore at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are they even there? Why are they working there? If they lied, then you know what I mean? Like it can potentially harm every case that they're involved in.
So, well, let me just say the person's name that starts with the G.
Uh-huh.
So I'm still doing some research, but I don't want to say too much until I get my, facts lined up. But it seems that he comes from a family that is very powerful. That's all I want to say. So he comes from it's one of those things where, the family is in certain positions around the state. That's what it appears to be to me. But sometimes last names people can have the same last name but not be related. So that's why I don't want to say too much, but I think it's one of those things because of who they know, and that type of thing. But when you look at the Brady list, like it'll show you, it's very limited information, but you can see where some of the officers were charged with criminal charges or something. And then the other ones, they don't have any information. So I don't know what was the outcome, but but even when you look at the Wilson case, somebody at their level, they were, it had to be people at their level and above them suppressing the evidence. That's not something I can just go to work and decide that I'm going to do, right? So it's more than just those two guys that were involved with suppressing that video cam from being released. Mm-hmm. So, it was from at least the top all the way down to their level. So, and I think at the time they were, whether sergeants or corporals, so I don't know, but so that spoke volumes to me, because that's not something that those two police officers can just decide that they're going to do for an entire year. You know what I mean? Yeah. So more people with power was involved in making that decision, is what I'm trying to say. So, and these two guys, and there's a saying in corporate America, when you get to keep your job, when you've done something that egregious or, something that bad, and they let you keep your job, then that tells everybody else that you are protected because you know where the bodies are buried. And I'm not trying to connect it to any, murders, but a lot on your boss. That's why your boss cannot fire you. Does that make sense?
Yes,
so that's kind of how the story goes. There are a lot of old sayings in the workplace. You get to see some people, no matter what, industry it is, they get to keep their job, whereas you might get terminated. So there's a reason for that. Okay, so that's all I have, and I'm glad to hear that you're doing great.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you calling in and having a voice in the community, and hopefully I hear from you again, because was this is the second time you called in, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of research. So I do a lot of research. I'm a researcher. I'm training to do research. So
well, I love it, because I didn't find what you found. So that's great. I appreciate you sharing that with me and everybody that's listening. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, it's kind of good. I didn't know about it until I started digging and doing some research, but I hope it came up for you. I'm trying to get to my so I can tell you. I'm
Now,
afraid
when I search on here, it's showing me, because I searched the Brady. Let me see. It shows me. What the? That wasn't. Hold up. Let's get to here.
Those names are not. I didn't look at all of the PDFs because it went to page 79, and I also noticed that it had stuff out of order. Like by the time I got to page 4, it was still talking about, you know, it's just not in any particular order in terms of a year. So
yeah, it's all over. I see 2019, 2018, 2021, 29. Yeah, it's not in that particular order.
Yeah, so I just didn't have time for all of that. You know what I'm saying? I was just surprised that they had a Brady list. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you're too small to have a Brady list. Come on. But whatever. You know, it's just, they only have like how many police officers? Maybe 15? So I don't know. And then some of them are what? Parking enforcement people. So they walk around and give out tickets. They're really not, you know, into the, you know, I don't know. It's just kind of strange. I just didn't expect them to have a Brady list, but you got me fired up last night with that 6-minute video of yours. So anyway, all right. Thanks, T-REV. Thanks. All right.
Well, thank you for calling, and I appreciate you. Thank you for having a voice in the community. Lock your doors. You know the deal.
All right. Thanks, and stay healthy. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, man. You too. Shout out to her. God bless her. If you want to call in 219-885-9693, I want to hear from you. 757 sent from heaven. What's going on? You live.
Hey, Travis, Donna.
Long time no hear. What's going on, Donna?
Oh, I'm just listening to the show tonight, and I just had a couple ideas of what things I've been reading on this case. One of the things that I'm thinking about is, being that there's a gag order on this case, no information's getting out, supposedly, you know. And according to what I read about his attorney, she presented evidence, or she presented something to the court in regards to one of the officers that was at the scene of the crime, that I guess in the past had some kind of run-in with internal affairs.
Yeah.
So I don't think, you know, the judge put a gag on that as well, whatever she presented. But it may not have had anything to do with this case. It just may have been the fact that he was caught in a lie previously.
Yeah.
Or doing something he shouldn't have done in a previous case. So she picked up on that. And I think it was actually a case she may have worked, to be honest with you. One where a guy ran over a woman. I was trying to think the name of it, but Ellington or something. But anyway, so it may not have anything to do with Kohlberger's case at all. It just may be the fact that the guy's a liar, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
That he's been caught in court, you know, giving false testimony, and it flagged her to say, wait a minute, you know, I've dealt with this guy before. He's known to do this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's kind of where I'm leaning when it comes to that situation, because with the gag order being there, it's not going to be I don't think it's going to be anything having to do with that, you know. And the judge put a gag order on whatever she presented to him, because I guess they don't want the information coming out on exactly what he did, exactly what it was about, what case it was, blah, blah, blah. But whatever he did, it wasn't enough to reprimand him to where he lost his job.
Right.
You know, so I find that, you know, it could have been tampering with evidence. It could have been not following proper protocol. It could have been a lot of things. So, you know, we're still on this gag order.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be hard for. I mean, leaks always happen, but I just don't think we're getting leaks. I think we're getting more speculation. You know, all of a sudden she's presenting a document. This is something that's just happening. We haven't had anything in a while, so everybody's speculating. What could it be? What could it be? You know, oh, it's a crooked cop or it's a bad cop or whatever. Well, he must not be that bad if he's still on the force, you know. Because evidently he was, and there's only one, from what I found on the internet, there was only one of the officers that involved in this case that they're looking at, or they've, you know, pointed it out to the judge. So, I mean, worst case scenario, they pull him. Internal revenue, tax season, and the Internal Affairs looks at him, sees what, you know, he could have possibly have done, if anything. It's just she recognized his name. She recognized him as, oh, I know this person, you know. But they deal with a lot of people. They deal with a lot of different state police, you know, different counties. So he may have just, his name came up and thought, I know this name, you know, and she researched it a little bit and said, oh, okay, I know who this person is. Let me let the judge know about this situation. There you go. Now there's an issue, you know. But is it something that is going to cause, you know, Kohberger to walk if he, you know, is found to have done something? I doubt it, because why was he left on a force to begin with if he was this police officer, if he had done something wrong before?
Right.
You know, it was like a smack on the hand.
Exactly.
Move him to a different department.
See, people seem to think that, I don't know, some people got it twisted. Well, I still think Brian did this allegedly. Now, some people don't, right, and I respect those who don't, but I still think Brian did this allegedly. Now, I do think the actions of other police officers may be affecting this case right now, but in reality, evidence don't lie. So when evidence comes out, if there's definitive evidence that points at Brian, we got our guy.
Right. I mean, this guy didn't like,
allegedly,
give me your finger. I'm going to stick it on the button on this sheath, and I'm going to lay it next to this girl's body. You know what I mean? I mean, that's not, you know, it's not primetime television. You know what I mean? This is, to me, it's like, I don't think what she's pointing out has anything to do with the Brian Kohberger case. I think what she's pointing out is this one cop has been charged with an indiscretion previously, and the judge, she presented the situation to the judge. The judge put a gag on it, and we don't know, and we won't know. Mm-hmm. You know, and everybody, you know, it's like I said this before. We may get crumbs come June if we're lucky. You know, this is a high-profile case. We'll get crumbs. We're going to know his plea. You know, right. He's not going to plead not guilty. He's not going to do that. I mean, he's not going to put. I'm sorry. He's not going to plead guilty. You know, I don't see him doing that.
Are you at the hospital, Donna?
No, I've got a ring system, and someone is outside walking in front of my house. And it says, Ring has detected someone in front of your house. Sorry, I can't turn it off.
God bless you, Lady Boss. I hope you get better.
So, but
Somebody said
anyway.
they're as soon as I asked you that, I looked at the comments, said they're watching from the hospital. I'm like, damn, I hope you feel better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they
Anybody
had
that's
kidney
not
stones.
well right now or dealing with anything. But I was just, I was looking at that Brady, no, what is it called? Brady Giglio.
Yeah.
Giglio material. And it's just, I think the way I defined it for myself, it kind of, the way I understood it was, it's when someone does not present accurate information before the court under oath. To simplify it to me, and so they get investigated by internal affairs to ask why. Why did you present this in this way? Why did you not disclose, the information? And there was a gentleman that was on just a little while ago that said something about the jury going to the house.
Yeah.
That was another thing I want to say.
That was Chris Hay, Brian. That was Brian's
the guy that
from high
grew up
school.
with him. Yeah. Chris.
Or he met him at a couple parties or whatever and went to high school with him. Yeah.
High school, right. Well, he was saying, he had asked the questions about who determines if does the jury ask to go, and my research when I was reading about that said that, the prosecuting attorney and the defense attorney can talk about it, but ultimately it's the judge's decision if they feel it deems necessary to do it, and what will possibly, what do you think? I mean, let me ask you this. What do you think would be beneficial for them walking in that place?
The sounds,
your own opinion.
The sounds in general, just, how shit sounds. And
I can understand like the floor creaking and stuff, because they had a guy on there that used to live there back, 8 years ago or 5 years ago, and he said the floor was creaking. You can always tell when someone was in the house,
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, what specific things do people think they can find in there, or the jury will see, that will make them determine, this could have been done, or this could have been done. The creaking of the floor, there's nowhere there. I don't think there's any way to replay or what's the word I'm looking for? Reenact the events of that night, because there is no one there to know what really happened that night. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you can walk around and there can be creaking on the floor and everything, but the events of that night, what was heard, what was, there's a lot to that. And what I read too, that they said it's rare. Now I know they've done it. They did it in this past case with Alec
Murdaugh.
I know that they did that because it's an open area. It was a yard. I think they really wanted to be able to see distance and things like that. But in a house, I'm just kind of, I'm not too sure about that. But I did read that, that lastly, it's up to the judge. But initially, the prosecution talks to the defense, and then they talk about it. And then they present it to the judge, whether he feels like it's even necessary to do, So has anybody heard if they have decided a date for demolition on that house?
I seen somebody say they seen May, but I haven't looked.
Really? Makes you wonder if they're going to do it before. Well, like I said, June. I don't think June is going to be anything but a plea date. So I don't think we're going to have a trial till fall. you know, towards the end of the year, even the first of next year, depending on what he pleads. But, you know, he's saying he's going to be exonerated. He's not going to plead, you know, guilty. He's going to have them try to prove he did it. So, anyway, those are my thoughts. I've just kind of been listening, and it's interesting. It's interesting what's showing up. It's so weird that in such a small town, you know, a small area,
For sure.
There's all this, you know, all these little secrets and these things that are you just don't expect. You expect those things in bigger cities, you know. So it's not as cut and dry as some people think, I guess, including myself. So anyway.
Yeah,
but
no doubt.
I'm glad to see you on tonight. I was looking for you earlier. And the Rev fam, hello to everybody.
I've been looking the hell at this 3D model. I don't know.
What, the 3D of the house?
Yeah, the one that I looked at last time.
I mean, it's if you can really, I mean, I have seen several cases use that. They used to actually have a show on called 360. Have you seen it? It's a crime show. It's called 360. And all they did was
Crime 360, where they recreate. Yeah, I've seen every season on there.
And they do the 3D imaging. Isn't that the show? Isn't that what it was called? Where everything was done. They scanned the property, or they scanned the crime scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty interesting, and it does show a lot, even down to blood droplets and stuff. So, I don't know.
It's a very good show. I like Crime 360 because it does. They bring out that camera and scan the whole scene. And
yeah, and I read too that, you know, some of it's 3-dimensional, some of it's 2-dimensional. You know, when they're looking at blood splatter, or if they're looking at footprints, even in the carpeting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there may not be visible footprints, but the proteins in the blood. And say, for in this case, you know, they talked about the footprint in front of Dylan's bedroom door. I mean, that could have been urine for all you know. That could have been where he walked all the blood off his shoe, and that was the remaining non-visible blood protein, you know, that was there. But they didn't catch it the first time, but they caught it the second time they were in there. And I think they used a different chemical. And that's another reason why they wanted to destroy the house, because the chemicals that they used are carcinogens. And they, you know, they would have to literally tear the whole house, gut the whole house, because of the chemicals that were used in there. So that's how they found that footprint, with the protein that was left behind. But it was only one, I think it was only one shoe. So, anyway, it's interesting.
For sure.
But it's coming around the corner. It's just not quick enough. We need more. We need more crumbs.
Ain't no doubt. You definitely need. I'm sure we'll get those crumbs, because I mean, look what's coming out little by little by little by little. Every couple weeks, every week. You never know when something's gonna come out.
Yeah, I agree. I'm ready. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for all this.
Oh, for sure, definitely. Been waiting for it.
It's going to be a 24-hour. You might as well catch up when you sleep now. 24/7 chat on this court case. But anyway, I'll let you go. I just wanted to touch base on a few things.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you calling in, Donna. God bless you. And
You
hopefully
too.
I hear from you again soon.
All right. Y'all take care.
Lock your doors. Donna, man. Shout out to Donna in the building. Go ahead, hit the line. 21. What was I gonna say? Damn, I done forgot the number. No, I didn't. 219-885-9693. No, Sereno. Lee, Rogue, Cindy, or 973. What's going on? You're live.
T-REV, it's Terry.
How's it going, Terry? Nice to hear
Good,
from you
how are
again.
you? Same here, 973.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I know the area code, Jersey.
Yes, how you been?
I'm hanging in there. How about you?
Good.
What's on your mind? What's your thoughts?
So I was thinking about, everybody's up in arms about them tearing down the house and everything. I was just thinking that I don't think they even need the house. I think they have so much evidence on him, and I think it's just going to blow when they start doing the case. I think everybody's getting crazy over the house because don't you think that the attorneys would have filed a motion to stop them from tearing the house down if they needed it?
That's a good point. Hell yeah, that's a great point.
That's just my point of view, but I think they're keeping everything under wraps. And then this other crap I'm really not getting too much, like with the cops and everything. I think that might be his attorney. Just trying to put stuff out there to throw it off, or if they had to bring that cop in to testify over something just to get him thrown out of court. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just like maybe like her way of trying to sway people. But that's basically it. And I just wanted to say we missed you so much.
Yes, ma'am. I've been live though every other day. There was a minute I wasn't live for maybe like a week or something, maybe two.
But I'm used to watching you every day when we were going crazy over this case.
Damn right. Damn right. Well, I said I put them in the community post. I'll be live every day to every other day. So
cool. I know we're gonna go crazy when the case starts again.
Damn right we are.
Yep. The white truck. Remember the white truck? Oh my god.
Oh my god, the white truck. That gives me nightmares.
I know. We went crazy over that.
It does.
How's your dog?
He's hanging in there. He's got to get surgery. So
he does.
Yeah, he's got to get surgery. But
he'll be okay.
He'll be okay for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're back a little more. I
just
want to say hey, and that was my thought, and good to hear from you. And I want to say to Papa Sal, I love you, Papa Sal. He got me the other day when he was hanging up with you, when he said we're all his family. So, Papa Sal, I love you, if you can hear me.
Yeah, Papa Sal's probably listening. He better be. I'll whip his ass. No,
all right, T, I love you too, and you take care, and we'll talk soon.
Love you back. God bless you. Lock your doors. You know the drill. I'll hear from you again.
Yep, you too, honey. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless. Shout out to her. If you want to call in 219-885-9693, make sure you hit the line. What's up?
Oh my God! Into this day.
Oh my God. Hold on. I've gotten so busy. I'm always here listening and watching, even when I'm not able to chat. I agree. Prosecution has so much evidence on BK, and the defense is relying on technicalities to get him off. No Murphy hate. He was only a pup. Right. I see the Instagram page for Murphy. I think it's 918. What's going on? You live?
T-REV, this is Okie 420 Mama.
What's going on, 420 Mama?
What's going on? Okay, I want to tell you a little something. My father used to work in a prison. My mother was probation and parole.
Okay.
So in Oklahoma, we lived in a small town. This goes on all the time with the Brady list, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Those officers on that Brady list, they are not to testify in court, ever, which means they shouldn't be on the force, period.
Right.
It was so bad where I lived, we couldn't even talk to officers' children because my daddy knew if an officer's child did something wrong, they set someone up to take the fall for that child. Yes, sir. It runs deep. It runs deep. And we call those on the Brady list, we call those gypsy cops because they're coming to a town near you, sir. Coming to a town near you. Because that Brady list doesn't go all over, you know, America. It's to each department. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So they can be on the Brady list in Moscow, and then they can move to Indiana and go right to work. It's crazy. Craziest shit I ever seen. Things I've ever seen.
Yeah, no.
If they're lying, you know, if they're lying to a judge, they should be charged and prosecuted for lying to the judge. Period. If they're withholding evidence, they should be charged and prosecuted for obstruction of justice. We would.
Right.
Us regular folk would. So why aren't officers held to the... When my daddy worked in the system, we were held to a higher standard. He told us girls, don't you ever do anything to tarnish our name. And we didn't, because we knew better. We would get it. So we never stepped out of line, because our daddy was expected to be held to a higher standard. Our stepmother was expected to be held to a higher standard as well. So this bull about these Brady lists, and see, they have to self-report. So Moscow is self-reporting their Brady list, see, which means they're investigating their own. That don't work. We already know that. So that's crazy too. But that's just a little info on the Brady list and how it doesn't really work like it should. That's why it's coming out now. And I don't think it came out from the defense. I think it came out from the prosecution. If you look real close, I think the prosecution put it out there trying to play CYA. And there ain't enough Kevlar to cover that. Okay? There just ain't. So, but that's what the Brady list is. And it's just a bunch of bull crap, because it's each individual. You get what I'm saying? It's each individual. Like Moscow has their own. Each individual, you know, police station has their own Brady list. So you can quit one place or resign and move to another town, even the next town over, and go right to work. And nobody asks no questions. So that's just a little something. Good to see you, T-REV. We love you. And thank you for all you do for us.
Thank you so much, man. God bless you.
Have a great night.
God bless you. Lock your doors.
We stay locked and loaded, baby. We protect ourselves over here in Oklahoma. Thank you.
That's
Have a
what
good night.
I'm talking about. God bless
Yes,
you. I
sir.
can't wait to hear from you again.
All day long. Thank you, sir.
Bless you, man. Shout to her, man. I like her spirit. If you want to call in 219-885-9693, make sure you call in. What's up? She had that fire spirit, man. She had that passion. There it is. Oh my God. I live in LA. Corruption equals corruption, no doubt. Goes on there in Chicago too. What about that old gang corruption shit they had going on? Or from Lewiston to Moscow, 2 officers involved shooting under laner. Salvatore. That's crazy. They had 3 on it posted already, adjudicated. The 3rd from the stickers. This I invite is under not adjudicated and about this. Please, no all caps. Locked and loaded, best believe. Locked and loaded, ready to pop your top. Daniel Hargraves, look it up, T-REV. New York. How the lady boss said, New York had the cops working for the cartel. They were going into drug dealers' homes, taking all the drugs and cash. Cops can be corrupt. 1,000%. Susie calling? I don't know. Is Susie calling? All right. Do not disturb is off now, so you can't call her. Phone number is either at the bottom of your screen, or you can hear me say it at 219-885-9693. What's your thoughts on the giggy, whatever they call it? So is free Koberger time yet, or what? Do you think he should be freed? You really think he should be freed? Was that a Sal call out? Yeah, that was a Sal call out. It definitely was a Sal call out. What time is it? 6:53, about to be 7. I think I might go live again because I'm gonna do something totally different. I've been live for 2 hours and 14 minutes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take a small break and then I'll probably get back on and do something else. Thank you guys. I appreciate everybody that was in the stream. I love you all. Until next time, I'll be back. Thank you to pay for Brian's bullet, Hollis says. I appreciate everybody that came by. But I have something else because something just came in the mail that I ordered, and I like new toys, so that didn't sound right, but I'll talk to you guys. I'll see you on the next one.
Look. All my life has been neglection, so now I pick up the pen and use it as a weapon. Yeah, you can see that I'm affected. People getting killed for nothing but obsessions. You need to look at your reflection and decide who you are. Stop acting disconnected. Got mothers killing kids. People kill to live. Well, I be on the mic, speaking how I live. Every day I wake up, it's another person that's dead, and YouTube has to solve it because the law is filling kids. I'm disgusted at the evil in the end, and if you connect the dots, you'll see the vision in your head. Why do people die as victims to the streets? They wonder.
I like new toys as in, a new spirit box.
Why I'm up all night and can't sleep. I'll be the voice for everyone who can't speak. L.E. fell kindly and now Sammy is free. AWP did a good deed and y'all be talking all that shit while they just do it for free. 16 days for 35 minutes. Y'all tried to throw them off and just want to play the victim. Reaching out to YouTube channels for clout. I wouldn't check it. TV if I went in your house. And SF investigate, stay sending out the hate. Why you mad at Doug and Nick for finding Kylie in the lake? Make it make sense. You're a fake bitch. You were there for money and now you're mad over fake shit. And that's something I can't relate with. Zero emotion from the mom or the statements. All I seen was the devil in her eyes. Tony died, you're a fake. I can see it through your lies. Got Sammy on your stream like the FBI. You've been grooming little kids. I can see your whole disguise. It get mail calling Ronnie up on the line. Why you lie to the people and say you gon' do it live? Santa May out here looking extra sus. Got an arrow on the ground pointing towards Kylie's truck. Then you want it coming up church. I think your butt hurt. You tried to blame the man for your dog but couldn't find the dirt. I guess that's what they mean by the trucky way. If you step foot in the town, you might die from foul play. And I don't know what to say, but I can feel it through my soul. She didn't drive in LA. So y'all can try to go convince somebody else, cause I'm not falling for that shit. The autopsy really smells.
See, let me explain what I'm talking about, man. And you know what I'm talking about. No water in the lungs. Y'all test for the weirdest shit. I guess it is the trucky way.
You gotta stop doing this.